Hey everyone, how are you? Hi Leo. Okay, so welcome to Opal Oracle if you're new. If you're returning, hi. Now, this here, I actually purchased this, but when I lived, my friend Allie and I actually were living in my little 1991 Dodge Colt, traveling around. We were in some little abandoned town, and we just started, picking this. This is like desert lavender. That's how it grows. It's similar to the East Coast too, but it's also, I guess, in a way, I think they call it like desert sage, something like that. So anyway, Leo, let's see, mid-month. Oh, I wanted to mention, I learned something new. Okay, and good. Don't worry about whatever this new path is. Don't sweat it. I see the Queen of, yeah, I see her. Don't sweat it, okay? So I found out, Leo, that sorry, I gotta clean up my mess. Cleaning up the mess, right, Leo? Let's clean it up. Let's make things, because what is this sage, whatever, lavender, these are sacred plant medicine. Okay, so that might be important to you, plant medicine. And I saw you reading a book about it, so that may be just something that you want to research a little bit, or maybe you want to grow something this season, or whatever. Okay? I see you taking responsibility for cleaning up something too, which is really good. Okay? I need 7 more. 6 more, 5 more, woo, 4 more, shit, oh, I missed it, 4 more, please, 3 more, oh, too many, 1 more, that one, no, which one is it, this one, okay, going somewhere, alright, so, Leo, I just got a pain in my kidney. For those of you who drink, please don't. Like, curb it a bit, okay? It's not, there's something about your body not filtering it appropriately. Also, women have a harder time filtering alcohol than men do. Because we're the mother, right? We're Mother Earth. It doesn't make sense to do that. I mean, you can build a tolerance to something, but the natural process of, it doesn't matter male or female either, in this grand scheme of your feminine half of your body, well, neither part of your body likes alcohol. It doesn't like things that are unnatural, the body. It's like poisonous, and that can just be stress. So go easy on yourself, okay? Because I see that this is what you're going away from. Okay? So I heard take your time, and then I heard get it going. So what it is because the boat could just easily turn around and go right back into this. But don't do that, because you're just going to, if you do that, you're repeating a family pattern that's unnecessary, and you'll put yourself back into a place, like a kind of a negative headspace that takes up a lot of your time. Because I see that it could be wherever you have Capricorn in your chart too is part of the challenge, but it also can be an external energy, whatever it is that you're attracted to energetically, magnetically, kind of addicted to. Okay, but it's only because you've been doing it so long. It's not that it's, again, natural to you. Okay, but I see you breaking that cycle. Let's see what you got for cats. Present. Take it easy. Okay, challenge. You being you. Jeez Louise. Past. Present. Or conscious. Subconscious. Interesting cards. So these are all in the upright, and this is in the reverse in the past. Well, you may have went through a situation recently that made you lose, that made you feel disempowered, okay? Where you kind of forgot who you were, what you deserved, how awesome you are. Some shit, get the fuck away from me. And you might have had to say that, okay? I heard, don't forget what it is that you know. Okay? Don't forget what it is that you know. Because I see that your challenge right now is you kind of forgetting who it is that you are, what it is that you know. Okay, your challenge is for you to be yourself. That's not good. That's not Leo-like. What's the matter? Are you okay? You are safe, you are loved, and you are protected, okay? You can do anything, okay? If you're dealing with people that don't know how to deal with their energy, where they're kind of nasty, you know, well, I see that you could have gotten in a fight with somebody too, okay? But I see that, or someone tried to pick a fight with you. But the thing is it's a pointless battle, okay? You're not going to win it. You're not going to win it this way. You're not going to win it this way. It's like they don't express themselves accordingly. They really are blocked in who that they are. But of course, this is, when we're talking about dealing with somebody else, we really are talking about, well, we have to view it from, well, how do I do, how does this reflect me? Okay? And I see that your present situation is you are actually thinking about that in a way, and also you are consciously gaining, well, you're keeping patience, which is good, but I kind of see you keeping, in a way, I see you keeping patience with people who you don't have the most productive communication with, but you still can't leave yet. Right? And it may just be, it may not be physically. I actually see it more within your mind. Like, or you still talk to them, or you still communicate with them somehow. Okay? But they don't empower you, whatever this is. This isn't empowering at all. Okay? This is pointless. And the hangman knows that. I also see that the situation will turn around, if you please, if you decide that I heard if you take distance, okay, like if you, and this is about, both of these are about taking some distance, okay, like taking time for yourself so that you can figure out where it is that why is it that you had to be in this situation in the first place? That's the true question here. That's one of the main questions in these four. Why are you in this place to begin with? Why did you have to feel like you had to leave? Because the undercurrent is the 6, but the conscious is the 5. And that's why you need this 4, is so that you can find the truth of the matter. Okay? Have some clarity about the situation, because I see that in a way you're kind of you're working together with someone subconsciously that has some sort of karmic tie to you. Like you've already known them before. Or rather, this at least is not a new situation, okay? You've done this before. You've been doing the same thing before, and I think that's sort of where your power is being drained, okay? It could also be that someone is using kind of like, it could be possible that someone's sort of in the darker shadow world, or they work off of that energy. They're attracted to that energy. Therefore, they may be trying to use like negative magic or negative energy, actions, thoughts, whatever, towards you that are draining you, okay? It's taking up too much of your time, is what I heard. Okay? But only you can decide that for you. Only you can decide that for you. Okay? And regardless, again, if this is an external person, whatever, it is also the way that you're dealing with yourself internally. Okay? You rule the heart. That's all internal. Okay? Because I said this to someone else this time frame, but the mouth speaks what the heart knows. Okay? Now, there's something about stubbornness. Okay, where you're trying to good. You're trying to, you want to give to somebody. Like, you want to receive from somebody. You want to, sweet, loving, fun feelings, fun times, fun love, right? Like, just cute, kind of innocent in a sense. Because even though whenever you are serious, you are very innocent too. Okay? It's the heart, right? You're the heart of the child. So, but the thing is you're kind of working together. There's a connective energy that is not productive. Okay, it wants you to, because again, it goes 4, 5, 6, but it goes backwards. So there's 3 sword cards, okay? Well, that means that in a way, you're still sort of, you're dealing with someone who's dealing with pain in their heart that they haven't assessed, that they just hold in there. But that also means that in a way, you're a little bit fearful. That's the reflection, is that there's a little bit of fear within inside of you still about whatever's happened in the past, and you're trying to fix it in a way by working together with other people, trying to find that love outside of yourself. Now, I'm not saying, Leo, that you don't love yourself, because I know that you do, okay? But I think once you, it's like I said, what makes you submissive, right? Who makes you submissive? And where did that begin? Because whoever you're dealing with now is just a reflection of whoever showed you that originally. Okay? We have to connect the dots, and that's how you can figure out what it is that you need to figure out so that you can turn this queen around, male or female, and start doing you. Okay? What are the things that you like to do, Leo? You are so social. Are you being antisocial? Because I see in the future, you're still sort of spending time by yourself, but you're at least starting to work on what you want to work on. Okay? So maybe that's a part of it, is that maybe some of your socialization is like lowering a little bit. But in that, it's teaching you to take the time for yourself to figure out, well, who you really are. What is it that you really want? Okay, what are your levels? And I heard of acceptance. Okay, because that's one of, and I love you, and I have an ascendant, so thank you for the lesson. 8 of Pentacles. The acceptance, Leo, sometimes you put up with bullshit. I'm just going to say it plain. You put up with things that really are not for your greatest good sometimes. And it's not, again, you can't just blame the other people. You know, it's not about that. You have to have integrity, right? This Ace of Swords. Have integrity for, like, what isn't working. And then take the action to actually change it, okay? So that your physical world can become more happier. You know, those of you that want to get married or want to have a better marriage or whatever, want to heal your inner child, well, there you go. Just have integrity. Like, where did it come from? And what is it in my life that I need to cut out? Okay? Because I know in a way you want to say yes to everybody. You're a pleaser, okay? In a sense. But, like, what about pleasing? Now, with all fire signs, you have to be careful, because sometimes pleasing the self, all the fire rules the ego. So, you know, keep that in check. But really, again, what do you like to do? What are you doing You know, is someone taking up, I just feel like someone's taking up a lot of your time that you could be spending on something more according to you. Okay? To get all those things that you want. And have them actually stick around and be stable. Okay? But only you can decide what is not enough for you. Okay? What is enough, what is not enough. And wherever it is that is not enough, you know it really is not productive. Okay? And that's why things like this happen. Okay? Why towers come. Why things end. Because God wants you to finish the cycle so that you can continue to balance out your karmic scale and have a better time. Learn new things. Okay? Have more fun. Now, I wanted to mention, because it's important to you actually, well, all signs, but it's important to you. Speaking of that tower, so this is the first deck of cards I ever received. I received these so I had like a person that I thought was like the love of my life, right? And in a way they were. I don't know exactly what you'd classify it as, but we knew each other for like over 20 years. It was a really long time, okay? And we were always connected, but we'd sort of separate and come back together, separate and come back together. But in that, there was always some sort of friction, and I knew that, right? I knew that in a way, regardless of the sex being good or all that kind of jazz, it really wasn't that successful, okay? I knew I was up against something that, in essence, was teaching me about who I was, but that was a confusing situation. And in a way, I didn't really want to assess it. I kind of was, you know, got into a position of like, everything's fine. Like a Taurus, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. I'm not going to assess my emotions about the situation, even though that was a lie to do so. Okay? To myself. It was doing myself a disservice. It was doing them a disservice. But whatever. Everything happens for a reason. Right? So we can learn. Now, the tower moment came. I lost my home. I lost my best friend, my soulmate, whatever. That situation, that connection, gone. Like literally overnight. All my stuff on the sidewalk, like we were supposed to like be together later, whatever. Okay? Well, luckily, I had a friend, Allie, that I've talked about before. I love her, and I actually just emailed her today to connect again, because I know that even though we may have differences of opinion about certain things, some misunderstandings have been had, miscommunications, well, you know, it's about assessing, like, where does that miscommunication come from? And is the situation actually healthy or not? Okay? Does it benefit both parties? And if it does, and both people are open to that, well, continue it. Can you learn from one another? Because usually when the learning stops is when things start to become, or people forget that they're learning, that they're supposed to be learning. Well, then, you know, then this happens. Okay? Sadness comes, because what happens is with the Two of Cups situation is you can't, you know, you can't cover up or fix anyone's Five of Cups. You can't fix your own Five of Cups that way. You have to come back down into finding your own Ace of Cups from the beginning. Now, long story short, my mom taught me how to tell stories. Sorry. Well, I ended up being homeless, okay, for like 3 months. My friend Allie lived in the next state, and I luckily got to keep my job. And I had Zoomy stay with Allie, and I would work all week, and then I'd come down there on my day off, see her, see the dog, whatever, and then I'd go back and I'd live in a Walmart parking lot. Okay, and I decided to take a class about what it is that I was going through, what it is that I was, you know, figuring out how to mourn this situation, because it felt like a death to me, you know. And so I went to class in the morning, I go to work at night, and I had 2 hours left over in the truck, because when you don't have electricity, you go to bed when the sun sets. You go to bed when the sun goes to bed, just like the birds, okay? We're not nocturnal. So, again, one day I ended up with this in my hand. So through a Tower moment, I gained something great. And I actually gained something that brought me wonderful stability, okay? And because I wasn't able to say no for myself, even though I knew that it was for my highest good, that I needed to find this Ace of Cups for myself, you know, and so did he, for it to actually be healthy, right? We had to cleanse ourselves of what has happened in the past, right? Well, because I couldn't say no for myself, because I wanted love, you know, and I wanted that connection for whatever reason, you know, reasons, well, it got taken away from me. Now, the Tower moment never really has to come. It's all about you choosing. Because when you choose something, to say no to something, and you know because it's for your highest good, even though that's sad, even though that's hard to do, well then God is going to, whatever, the universe is going to give you usually two things. And then you can choose, okay? When the Tower comes, it's usually you have one option, and you have to take that, and then you have to build from there. Okay, it's harder. There's no, and again, this goes back to why you want to learn lessons the hard way, honey bunny. Now, I'm not saying we don't learn the best lessons that way, because they sure do stick with you, don't they? Because maybe part of the submitting beyond other people, it's like, well, do you feel like going into your mind and assessing your heart is submitting? Do you feel like that's weak? Do you feel like taking it easy, like really figuring out like what has happened and how that relates to now in your heart weak? Because it's not. It's actually really strong to do that, okay? It's really brave to do that. Now you, Leo, I know you're not going to necessarily talk about it with anyone else, but I see that writing about it might really help you balance and heal what it is that you're going through. Okay? What do we got for time? Now, what you're actually going to be working on in the future, you're going to have to, well, there's two messages I heard. One is you may have to stick up for what it is that you want, that you want to make. Okay? Not about what somebody else needs, but like what you're doing. Okay? Because again, maybe someone was draining your energy, or your energy was just being drained from some other situation. You figuring out what that is, putting yourself upright, starting to do what it is that you like to do, okay? That makes you happy when you put in a bunch of time and energy and whatever. Okay? Makes you feel stable, makes you feel rich. Okay? Rich in spirit, rich in heart, whatever. You know, you may have to kind of be like, hey man, this is what I need. Okay? Because that's something that you have to learn too, is actually saying that. I mean, it all depends on what other aspects you have, but it's okay to say that. Because you're I want, not I need. And I want is very different than I need. Okay? Now, another thing is I see that in a way, you may have to also defend yourself, like, I don't see this as a financial thing. I see it more as whoever you're working with. I also see that you don't let anybody try to block you in what it is that you're making, what it is that you're growing, okay? What it is that you want to grow. Don't let that stress you out, okay? Those people that are trying to do that to you, they feel like this. That's not, and I heard that's not your problem in ways of fixing them, but it is also, well, it is kind of your problem in a way that it's figuring out, well, what this problem is. Why is it that we end up, again, in these situations? Why is this reflection here? Okay? And that goes back to assessing the shadow. Okay? And also walking away from, for the majority of you, well, family situations. Okay? But it also is your masculine and your feminine. The Emperor and the Empress, definitely. Aries and Taurus. Oh, happy new moon in Taurus, by the way, on the 15th. Also, again, for those of you that don't know, I guess the Uranus is going into Taurus the 15th as well. Okay. I also see that if you are dealing with kind of a stubborn person, a domineering person, whatever, like, don't go back to them. Yes, there is a strong connection, but like, what are you really getting out of it? I sense that it's not the same color. They're not the same color as you. They're not the same, because what is a color? But like, every color makes a vibration in the spectrum, right? It's a different vibration. And I heard you're trying to adapt to someone else's vibration, and I don't know why you're doing that. Well, because a lot of you want to be married. A lot of you want to just have fun. But I think what's happening here is it's more about changing your structures and figuring out where you learn those structures about what celebrating is, about what fun is, about what socialization is, and what love is. Okay? And I see strongly, because this came out in addition to the Emperor, it has a lot to do, well, it has to do with family, but specifically it has to do with the father. Okay? Also, how much faith do you have in who you're dealing, like, how much faith do you have in your friends? How stable do you feel with your friends? How stable do you feel with love? With the people that you're dealing with, okay? Is the person that you're dealing with, because I feel like you're dealing with somebody, is the person that you're dealing with someone that you would consider a friend? Does the person that you have this soul contract with actually get along with your friends? Do they have the same structure as your friends? As the person that you would classify as like long-term? Or do you kind of hide them? And I heard make excuses for them. And then I heard adapt to them. Interesting, Leo. Let's see how to make this strength no longer your challenge. Look at this. This is you, this is you, this is you. Okay? How to not have this be your challenge? Well, open up your heart. Open up your inner child. Have fun, Leo. What are you doing, baby? It's almost, well, I heard it's almost your birth month, even though it's not really, but something about that. Maybe you need more sunshine, okay? You are the sun. You need sunshine. It energizes you, okay? Maybe you've been in the dark, or maybe you're dealing with people that you're working with that sort of live in the dark, that like the shadow. Why are you dealing with people like that? That could also be what's draining your energy. Okay? Get outside. Get outside. Go have fun. Okay? I want to see his 5 of Swords just because it is a challenge, and I know it's an internal process, but it's reflected through the people you deal with. You can't change anybody, Leo, but you can change yourself. Okay? You can't, like that 2 of Cups, that story I told you. It's like, he was so full of love. He was actually a Leo too. He was so full of love, you know? And he did really love me. I know he did. But like, he was so sad. And so was I. But I wanted to get it out and he didn't. Okay? Because everyone deals with things differently, and we can't get anyone to make up their mind about changing who they are. We can't do that for him. This is only one person. This one person is the person that ends up on this horse. This one person is this person that has to make the decision. No, this is not 2 people. You can't just become this other person and make them do that. Now, if this is you, you can do this all day. You just have to decide. Whatever it is that you're emotionally attached to right now, and I see, because this is obviously, we go to people, well, it would behoove you to do so, and if you don't do so on your own, you won't get the tower, but you will have to end it. And if you end it and choose, like I was saying, for your own accord, for your own well-being, for your highest good, well, then that transformation will be much easier. okay? It'll be much more fun. You're going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. I get to try something new. Let's do something new. Let's just find out what happens. That's what the inner child is all about. And that's brave. Okay? And I know in a way that your inner child, you are a little bit scared of something. But you don't have to be scared. Okay? You are stable. You are safe. You are loved. And you are protected. Okay? You are safe. You are loved. And you are protected. Okay? Look at this. King of Pentacles, Empress, King of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Fool. You have a great opportunity to begin something wonderfully new and passionate and inspiring that teaches you new things, opens up your mind, helps you grow, not only in your feminine, but also your masculine, and like grow in your money and like, and what it is that just makes you feel good. Maybe you need to garden, right? Maybe that makes you feel really good. And again, that's all the sun. Look, this yellow, yellow, yellow. Get in the sun, babe. Also, continue to talk. Like, it's okay. Like I was saying with that weakness, babe, it's okay to talk about when you feel stuck. Okay? That's not weak. That's not, you don't need to make that a challenge for yourself. Okay? I know that you're not used to that because that means you got to go into the water. You know, you got to go, like, into your feelings. And I know you want to keep it lighthearted, but when you express that, it's not weakness, it's courageousness. Okay? You need a hug? You give the best hugs, you know? Alright. Oh. Okay, cool. We're going to read one from Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. The wind, your mind, just open this up for me. We have 2 of them. Okay. So it says, this one's entitled Point of View. Thanksgiving dinners, sad and thankless. Christmas dinners, dark and blue. When you stop to try to see it from the turkey's point of view. Sunday dinner isn't sunny. Easter feast are just bad luck. When you see it from the point of view of a chicken or a duck. Oh, how I once loved tuna salad, pork and lobsters, lamb chops too, till I stopped and looked at dinner from dinner's point of view. So it's okay to have compassion, all right, for yourself. It's okay to have compassion. You know, you want that Leo big heart, compassion for other people and what they're going through. And again, you want to love them, right? But you got to love yourself first. What do you want? But also, remember, what do you need? What do you need? And that goes back to your boundaries. Now, the second one we got, Magical Eraser. Look at this kid. He's erasing somebody, right? Good. Magical Eraser. She wouldn't believe this pencil has a magical eraser. She said I was a silly moo. She said I was a liar, too. She dared me to prove that it was true. And so, what could I do? I erased her. Well, that's easy. You know, because maybe you're doing something that people don't like. Well, this shows me in one way that you don't feel like you can do something, but you can. Okay? It also shows me that you kind of are up against people that don't believe in you. They don't believe what you're doing for some reason. Like, they don't think that you're able to do something. But you can. Leo. My Leos. You can do anything. Anything. The only time we stop doing something, that's when we become disempowered, when we stop doing what we want, what we need, okay? And if you're getting all the things that you want, well, then maybe, again, you need to assess what it is that you need. And then talking about it and expressing it and not being ashamed or worried or whatever that it's going to end up in some kind of fight. Because if it does, that's just going to let you know that this isn't somebody that you're supposed to be working with. It's not worth your time to fight for it. You know? Tu sabe? Capisce? You know? It's also good to accept and be open to other people's point of view about the situation. And that goes back to kind of talking about what's going on. Because Leo, I love you, but you have so many things, like especially with your relationships, you hide them from other people. And it's because you hide things inside of you from other people. So, and then you end up dealing with people that you have to, again, hide from other people because for some reason it doesn't really, it goes back to is your lover or is your person that you involve, your people you involve yourself with, something that you really feel like you don't have to defend them to your friends. Okay? I love you. Be strong, okay? Be brave. You are these things. Don't forget what it is that you know. Peace out.